Hi guys, I'm back with the Saga battle report. It's been a while. I've been doing Frostgrave terrain at the moment in most of my spare time. I want to get some battle reports up for that. The campaign's already started at the club, and I want to get my stuff painted and a decent chunk of terrain, so at least it looks somewhat good. So over here we got the Crusaders, which I'm playing, versus my opponent's Moors. My opponent's going to be using a stand-in force. So he's got camels in it, which doesn't properly have camels. All the camels, they're just normal cavalry models instead. So we'll just have a look at the forces. What I'm bringing is a priest as my warlord. He's an advisor. That was pretty much a bad call there. But 6 mounted Hearthguard, 6 mounted Hearthguard, 8 crossbows, a big unit of 12 warriors, and a little Saga generating 4 warrior unit. While the Moors had a mounted warlord, 4 blackguard, and 8 mounted warriors. And then 3 lots of 8 warriors and 4 Naphtha throwers, and I think they're split up 2 in one infantry unit and then 1 each in the other units. I said about my advisor being a bad call. Problem with the Crusaders, I tend to use up my dice to make sure I get the virtues that I want, which means I can't really generate any extra dice. So it was a wasted effort having my warlord there as an advisor. So on my opponent's right flank, he's got his unit of 8 warriors there with a little Naphtha thrower in it, and another unit of 8 warriors with an additional Naphtha thrower. Behind them, the 4 blackguard, and just in the corner there you can see his warlord at the back, and he'll have again another 8 warriors with 2 Naphtha throwers in that one. As you can see there, so the warlord himself's not on a camel, he's just on a horse, and then he's got his 8 mounted warriors. Those 4 camels are just horses. And my opponent, after playing this, by the way, did enjoy it enough to go out and buy a lot more cavalry now, so he can do a complete Moorish force. So on my side, I've got 2 units of 6 Hearthguard mounted up as my sledgehammer force. So in my centre, I have my warlord behind a unit of 4 warriors. I've got the 8 crossbowmen in the woods, and then my large block of 12 warriors in the end there. I think the 4 warriors and the 12 was wrong call for this kind of game. With my priest generating, with the possibility of generating 2 extra dice with some fatigue taken, I don't need the extra dice generation of this unit, and I was probably better off having 2 8-man units, because a 4-man unit is pretty much combat ineffective. And I move up, as you see here, in my first turn. Crossbowmen just go towards the edge of the woods there, so they can get some line of sight shots onto whatever turns up. My big unit of warriors there just to attract some attention, so my knights have a freer time on the other flank. He's only got his cavalry there, which are ranged cavalry, so it's 1 less armour. So I'll be hitting them on 3s in combat, so a good chance to take them out in one foul sweep. So I'm just showing some fatigue here on my warlord. It's one of the Moor's quite nasty abilities. If you move a unit further than M away from your warlord gains a fatigue. So doing large flanking manoeuvres, which my force generally excels at, is a bad idea unless I want a very exhausted warlord. So my armies, as you can see there, and my opponent just all moves up together. The Blackguard have the ability to basically weir being one other unit of warriors. So Blackguard are activated, they also push up a unit of warriors, which is quite nice to save some dice, and everyone else moves up. Now early on in the game, he was counting his Naphtha throwing units as ranged units, but the Naphtha throwers do not make a unit a ranged unit, which is quite nice. That means he gets all his abilities on his board. Over here, I decided to go for a long bomb charge here. These guys are missile cavalry, so their armor's low, and they're only warriors, so only generating 8 attacks. But I go in here, and I think I end up doing 14 damage to them. And unbelievably, they survived it, and I also lost 4 of my ruddy knights. That wasn't what I expected at all to happen there. If I'm not doing very much, it's because the first turn I also put 5 dice into my virtues to make sure I got my fortitude, and I think I probably lost 2 dice to get whichever the next one down is. Temperance, I think it is. Justice, I think. Justice is the one I went for. So yeah, there's my knights stuck out in the open there, pretty well damaged. But I'm determined to cause some casualties here, so I force them on again and have another go at these missile. What are they called? Missile cavalry. So mine's gone dead. So I have another go at these missile cavalry, just to finish them off and try and reduce the potential to reduce future Saga balls. which thankfully I do, and don't take any more casualties. So these guys are in a nice position on the flank here. One of my main aims, why I ran up here, is I was terrified of those guys just running forwards and doing the reverse, but shooting at my cavalry. That would have done a lot of damage, because obviously my cavalry have a reduced armor against shooting, so I've just got that threat out of the way. The other idea is I want to sweep round the flank and take on the Black Guard. If I kill a Black Guard, every unit with an M gains 1 fatigue for each model removed from the Black Guard. So sensing this, my opponent throws in both his Warlord and a unit of warriors to get rid of the final 2 Hearthguard, which he does with some pretty ease. And I don't think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I didn't actually cause a casualty on those warriors either. I thought I'd try and reduce the amount of warriors there, but he obviously got away scot-free there. So I've moved up in my centre in my turn. I've moved up my Warlord as well to stay within M of the crossbowmen, because I'm hoping to get a few shots off there with my crossbowmen and not wanting to build up the fatigue too immensely on my Warlord. And just as a precaution, I've got my little 4-man band there next to my Warlord just to count as extra wounds if needed, if I'm charged. And I take a few shots even with the extras from the the combat pool. I still didn't do very many casualties. I think I knocked off 2 off that left-hand unit. That's the best I could do. So this is when my opponent realised that the Naphtha throwers do not make the units a ranged unit, and then use Song and Drums, I think it's called, which allows him to basically move every non-ranged unit, which was everything on the board. So he sped up to the front there to engage my lines. And as you can see at the end of the turn there, I'm looking pretty beaten. My little 4-man unit, you might have noticed he's got a little stack of fatigue next to him, just next to the Warlord there. That right-hand unit of Moors came in and used the Naphtha thrower to try and kill off that 4-man unit. Managed to kill 3 out of the 4, which isn't bad at all. And that also means I gained 3 fatigue from receiving that, and also a fatigue for them for firing. So with the amount of fatigue on the Moors there, I decided to go in with my Knights and should easily be able to drive off this warrior unit, if not wipe them out. I played the... Oh, what really surprised me with those, the other cavalry that I hit, I did play my ability, which allowed me to reroll all my misses. So, yeah, that's why I was a bit annoyed when they failed to wipe them out. So I'm going to try it again here, and go in here, I'm going to reroll my misses, and add, I think... I added 5 attack dice, so we're looking at 17 dice, re-rolling my misses, and I'm also going to raise and lower the armour. And luckily I break my way through, as you can see here, and then I look at it and decide to go in with my Warlord and the Knight to have a go at the Black Guard, just to get the extra attacks on them, because if I can wipe out all of those 4 guys, that's 4 fatigue on all those units around it, and I should have an advantage then. But unfortunately, it was in our dam because I went in there and only did 1 casualty, which still puts 1 fatigue on all those units right around him. And I also lost 1, so I ended up getting pushed back here. And as you can see now, I'm in dire straits. My opponent's got that single guy there is a Naphtha thrower, and each of those units have each got a Naphtha thrower in it. So yes, I also played this turn. I think it's Siege and Conquest or something like that, which allows me to activate all my units. If they don't cause any casualties via shooting, if you're shooting unit, they have to shoot. I gain a fatigue, and if they don't go into combat, they gain a fatigue. So my crossman fired, but failed to cause any casualties and gained a fatigue. The little man by himself didn't go into combat, so he gained a fatigue. And then I activate my far side unit to charge in. There you can see my boys heading in there and to try and drive them back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 7 of them to 12 of me, so I should win that fight and do a few casualties to them. So I do nearly wipe them out. Once again, my opponent decides to save his Naphtha thrower, and so that's still 3 remaining Naphtha throwers to face off against me. And so my opponent's turn. The barrage of Naphtha started flinging my way here. I've lost all my mounted unit. My crossbowmen have been fired upon, and as you can see the stack up of Naphtha there. His big unit then went and engaged my crossbowmen. I think he lost a couple of guys to the Naphtha as well. And after the combat I'm down to 3 chaps, and he's got 1 chap left. So I'm getting really close here, but I just cannot reduce his units to nothing. So he's still generating plenty of Saga. On the top side there, you see he's gone in with his chaps as well. I don't know why he didn't... Oh, looking at the counters there, yeah, he fired Naphtha first, so I've got plenty of fatigue there. He then does a joint charge with his Black Guard and his Warlord against my Priest, and I know it's all over there. So yeah, as you can see, we're getting towards the end of the game. At the top of the board, I try and engage the remainders of his warrior unit that was there. Failed to kill them off, but drive them back. And as you can see, I am stacked with fatigue on these two units in the centre here. Those Naphtha throwers really do quite a nasty little trick when they work. So that's how it looked at the end. My opponent done really well there. It was a learning curve for me. The Moors have some great abilities, I have to say, and combined with the Naphtha throwers, that ability to stack up fatigue on your warlord for moving about so they can't outflank you. The amount of fatigue they can chuck out with the Naphtha throwers, and the fact they can activate all their units with song and drums, I think it is, made these guys really mobile as a warrior-based army. And with those Naphtha throwers, just giving them the edge, which is effectively a possibility of a 3-shot javelin, damaging pretty much everything on 2s, made for a really good-looking game.
Hey guys, I'm starting to get some of the prizes ready for the next giveaway. To find out more about the giveaway, check out my last video about the winners and that. You should find something there. What you're going to have to do and how many subscribers I need. So at the moment I've got the Saga rulebook with all 4 battle boards, some Viking dice, and some President Cross Christian faction dice. Okay guys, cheers then.
Hi guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed that. Just remember to beware of Naphtha throwers and the Moors. It's a great combination there. My opponent himself really enjoyed it. He's got to get some more Moors now. More Moors. And so hopefully he'll have some more painted up the next time we have a game. I'd like to try them on again. And hopefully in January we're going to be doing a Saga Siege, you know, one of our big games, and he definitely wants to get his stuff sorted out for then. So we shall see. So until the next time guys, thou wellest.